Look at these questions I've got here. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the World Law Alliance. Today, our guest is Anaklaudia Filadoro Feiteiro Gonçalves, and I apologize for the pronunciation, but I hope that was an approximation sufficiently correct. Anaklaudia is the Chief Executive Officer and Chief Legal Officer, as well as being a strategic business partner, multinational corporate law and tax counsel, and a privacy officer in a law company in Malta, but she's a true international lawyer. She specializes in tax law, international tax planning, international corporate law, mergers and acquisitions, corporate governance and consulting, general data protection regulation, regulatory compliance, cryptocurrency, blockchain. And she came to this after 2019, having observed an increased interest between the markets in Brazil and Malta. And she then founded Konda Law International, which is a legal advisory company which is expert in international tax planning, banking, contract, commercial, regulatory compliance, data protection, intellectual property, and also online dating, crypto, blockchain, as well as dealing with some more, what I might say, slightly more mundane matters of immigration and residency issues and general business strategy and planning. Now, her colleagues, contemporaries, and rivals say that she is known for her know-how and ability in tech and technology markets. And she stands out amongst the other lawyers because of her entrepreneurial mindset. Asked to describe her, they say she is nimble in that she executes things quickly and can change things quickly when needed. They describe her dedication to shareholder interests and business objectives, as well as her solid financial experience. Very impressively, Anaklaudia, and I mean this personally.
Thank you.
I know that you believe in the socialization of justice, and therefore I know that each month you handle an average of 3 pro bono cases.
Yes.
Which is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you, in the past, served as the Chief Legal Officer of White Label Technologies, Chief Counsel to a number of companies, network of companies within the European Union and other jurisdictions, including the US, Asia, and a number of offshore regions as well. So welcome very much to today's World Law Alliance meeting. I doubt we're going to have enough time to deal with all the questions I want to ask you, but I better get started and let you get answering. So I know that you've worked as counsel in the UK and in Brazil, and you've worked for the Carlyle Group, Leroy Merlin, Walmart, Boston Medical Group, SeaWorld, a number of global names there. So
Yes.
please begin by telling us about your journey in the legal profession. First of all, simple enough it sounds, but what was it that motivated you to pursue a career in law, and how did you reach your current position?
So, to answer this question, I have to bring my family to this conversation because I come from a family that is full of lawyers. My mother is one of them. And my mother always took me and my sisters to the office, to court and court hearings. So I jokingly say that my career started when I was 13 years old, when during the public holidays or weekends when I wanted to spend some time with my mother and my mother had to work, I used to sit down with her and help her to do some researches and read things for her. So I didn't have any other choice. Nothing else crossed my mind but law. I really wanted to be a lawyer and continue this
Well, that got you
profession in my
started.
family.
Well, that got you started, but you've climbed a long way up the career ladder.
Yes.
How did you do that?
I started working at the age of 18 in a law firm because in Brazil it's a bit different. In Europe, So we have to have years of practice before the graduation, and we work full-time jobs. So we do the work of a lawyer, but our payment is minimum wages because we are interns, because we didn't finish the law school. So I started very early in this career. It was my first semester in the law school. And I never stopped working since then and studying, because laws are very dynamic. There is always something different coming. There is always a new technology, a new area developing. So I had the chance to work for many different law firms and companies and deal with different people, extremely smart lawyers that, of course, they taught me a lot. Not only the art of dealing with law, but the art of being a lawyer. And these are two different things. They taught me a lot of soft skills and parallel skills you have to have when you are a lawyer. Otherwise, you are just an operator of the laws. Yeah. And I did a good net with the people I met during this through, I think, 17 years now. Yes, throughout the 17 years. And I always had in my mind that I don't want to be just another lawyer in the market. I don't want to be someone who will be unhappy going to court all the time. I want to do more. I want more. I want to succeed, and I want to go to areas that are difficult areas, and areas where women are not very welcome. I don't even know if that's the correct term, but for example, tax is
Well,
not
in a way, that leads me on to my next question. I'm going to ask you to
okay.
expand upon this a little more, if I may. I can see in your background there are a number of real big name client companies and corporations.
Yes,
And so you must have faced challenges or barriers
yes,
well, I say must, I anticipate you faced barriers or challenges to get these positions.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
are these barriers still in place today, or is the situation changing?
No, I think they are more challenging now because, for example, when I was an intern. So no one would question my nationality or my level of knowledge. They wouldn't question my gender. But when I became a lawyer and when I became when I started working as a lawyer, then I felt it. I noticed in the law firms and companies I worked for that as interns and junior lawyers, you can see a lot of women. But when you look to the higher positions and C levels, you see less, and less. And I never knew why. Actually, back then I didn't know why. But nowadays I know because there is still a lot of prejudice. And in my case, being a Brazilian living in Europe, being Latin in Europe and being a woman is even more challenging because I have to prove myself twice. I have to prove that, okay, I'm not this
Yeah.
lazy, uneducated, uncultured person you might think I am.
I doubt
Yeah,
anybody thinks that, but okay.
they do. They do. Unfortunately, I had so many bad experiences. I could stay here with you for the rest of the day.
Good grief.
But yes. So
But
I always
do you
have to.
feel so? Do you feel then there's still a glass ceiling for talented, ambitious women lawyers?
There is, but we can break it.
Oh,
But it requires a lot of discipline, a lot of organization, and persistence because we can do it. I believe that me being a girl who came from São Paulo in Brazil, from an average family, I managed to be here today talking to you in this position. I think other people can do it as well.
well, I've got. I'm going to ask you about strategies for this, so advice for young women in a moment. But I want to ask you another question first, which is this: a work-life balance, maintaining a healthy life, sounds very what you the work you've described, your working life, sounds very, very stressful. How do you
It
maintain?
is.
Well, how do you maintain your sort of work-life balance, or do you have a work-life balance?
I try. I will be very honest with you. It's not always that I succeed, but I try because I have this conscious. I know it's a very tense and intense job. I know we work under pressure all the time and we have to be available to the client. But if we are not organized and have clear time management in place and limits, our life will be only work and your client will be controlling your life forever. So you will be working from Monday to Monday, you won't sleep. So being organized is 50% of this challenge. Organization, since with the things you are going to do during the week, the meetings you are going to have, what you're going to say, because this saves time at the end of the day.
Okay, so you've sounds like to me that you've broken through that glass barrier, that you've got your own law company, it's successful, and you've got big name international clients. What advice would you give now to a young woman lawyer starting out, or alternatively, is there any advice you wish you'd been given when you were starting
Yes, well, both. One,
out?
never give up, study a lot, work a lot, and try to work as well on your mental health because you will work under pressure, and we women, we tend to respond differently from men in certain situations, and this is used against us. So we have to work on our mental health. We have to be persistent. We have to study a lot, and we must believe and make everything possible to achieve what we can achieve. It's not
How,
easy.
may I
I
ask
would
you,
not like, yes.
how do you maintain your kind of mental balance, your mental well-being? Do you do a great deal of work at the gym, or do you take the weekends off? I mean, how do you balance things?
I will tell you. So I go to the gym 3 times a week in the morning before coming to the office. So I start the day in a positive mood. During the weekends, I don't work. To I work 1 hour a day on Sundays because I like to have everything minimally organized for the week. I like to avoid surprises. And of course, I have a therapist for 6 years now. It is amazing. And this is very good because making this change from Brazil to Europe, and before coming to Malta, I was in the United Kingdom, and then I settled down here, having to adapt to a different environment, a different culture,
Mm.
people. I really needed someone to help me and to listen to me and help me guide me through this challenge. This is what I do to keep my mental health up to date.
Okay, well, I've got two more questions for you, if I may.
Okay.
Now, I know that you're a Women in Law Award nominee. Now, how do you perceive the significance and impact of recognizing and celebrating women's achievements in the legal profession generally?
I'm very happy because this is an amazing personal achievement, but it's also a recognition of women work in the area, which is something relatively new. Of course, after working for 17 years in this field, I remember receiving those magazines, the ranking magazines, and seeing men, 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 and a few women, and sometimes no women at all.
Mm.
So this is an achievement for me, but it's also an achievement for all of us because
All
we
right,
also
well,
can.
right, 17 years into the profession. You've only just started, my dear. So, what,
Don't tell me.
trust me, when you get to my age, then you deserve a break. Tell me, what goals or aspirations have you got for your future career? Do you want to be a judge? Do you want to be a top international arbitrator? What's next for you?
I want to grow Konda. I want to grow Konda to a level. at Konda is also a big law firm in Europe, but also recognized in Brazil. And I want to hire more women for my team. I have this policy already. I hire women. Yeah.
Well, great. You're going to put into practice what you preach, as we say.
Yes. Yes.
I
Definitely.
think it's excellent. Um, Unfortunately, and it is unfortunate because I happily sit here talking to you for ages, we've run out of time. So, on behalf of World Law Alliance, I want to thank, on behalf of everybody, Anaklaudia Filadoro Feiteiro Gonçalves for your time today.
Thank
I
you.
hope you win. And I know that this video will be circulated by World Law Alliance, and I want to thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and good luck in all your future
Thank
projects.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna Claudia.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.